Hello, CKL, and welcome to the first primetime match of Season 4, where we have an absolute slugfest of a D1 matchup today. The defending champions, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the rising FIU Panthers coming off of last season. I'm LeBob. I'm here with Wisp. How you doing, my friend?
I am excited. These are some stacked lineups here that we have today. Some really good teams. And we have seen some big games already in this first week of the season. And I am really excited to cast this first ever prime time of this season of CKL. I think it's going to be a good one.
I agree. This has been, I think, a matchup that has been on people's watch list for the past 2 months leading up to this season. Um, FIU has a little bit of change on their top lineup roster from last season, I believe, and it's going to be exciting. This could be a preview of what Division One finals this season look like. It is. I'm so excited.
Yes, so we have some pretty strong lineups from both sides here. Let's go ahead and start with FIU. They have the players Green, who is the founder of the team Daybreak, which they are D1 in MKU. So pretty big stuff. He's on Dynamite right now, though, so easily their strongest player. Next up, we have Ted Bear, who just won D7 with Origin. Pretty big stuff. We have Diego 6, who is one of their newer players that we are seeing and is one of their strongest players. He is currently on Jet Joker Factory, which is D2. And he was just in Division 4 semis with BXH. We have Gank, who you saw last season, who is on Lethal Vengeance. We have Milkshake, who was on Daybreak with Green. And we have Super, who is currently on Volt Switch, which I know you're pretty familiar with that team, LeBob.
Yeah, I know that
Uh,
guy. He's
and
cool.
then we have University of Michigan, the Michigan Wolverines. Leading the team, we have Short, who was a D9 finalist with the team MKU, but he's currently on Team LinkedIn. We have Fexican, also known as In Egypt, who won Division 3 recently with Bone Dry Dudes. We have Whooper, who is on Arcadia Retirement Home, chilling with the Unks. We have Schwager, who is currently on Lethal Vengeance, which is interesting because Gank is also on Lethal Vengeance. So you got some, same team here going up against each other. Pretty big stuff. And then we have C2D2, who unfortunately is not on a team, but he is Bronze 1 in Lounge, so he has been playing a little bit outside of just Clan Wars. And we have Mick Chicken, who is Iron 2 in Lounge. So we got some pretty strong rosters, and Michigan is defending the title, I think, for Division One. So we'll see. I mean, I think FIU has a pretty good shot, but we'll see how well Michigan can defend their title.
Yeah, I think if I were to predict this matchup, looking on paper, I do think FIU right now does have the stronger lineup. Unfortunately, Freddie or Crow was not able to free himself for the match tonight for Michigan. However, I think in the past we have learned we cannot count Michigan out of any match. If
Mm-mm.
I think I'm leaning FIU, but if Michigan ends up taking this match, I would not be surprised. They're the defending champs for a reason.
Yes, they have. And again, one thing I think Michigan has, because I think have they been in the game about as long as FIU? But I'm pretty sure their chemistry will, even if they're missing some of their top players, I think just their chemistry alone will be enough to keep them up there with FIU. So I don't know. I think chemistry is a big role. So, we'll see how that pans out for them. But FIU, they got a very scary lineup to go up against right now.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's all going to come down to the team play. Even if it looks like Michigan might have the weaker lineup, that does not mean that they are the
Mm-mm.
weaker team. They
No.
can work, they have that experience working together, as this is a lineup that Michigan has stuck with. They've had this lineup last season. I think, with the exception of Schauger, this is the lineup that Michigan also had for season 2 as well. This is a very familiar Michigan roster versus an evolving FIU roster, and we'll see if that plays an impact on the game.
Yeah. So, how much longer do we have, do you think, till the match starts? Because I am ready to see these guys race. I think it's going to be a very fun match. I mean, lots of high level players. I mean, I think out of any match that like I've casted here on CKL, these are probably some of the most stacked lineups that I've seen. Honestly, it's pretty good. So I'm ready to hop into it whenever these guys are ready to start playing.
Absolutely. And notably for this match, the FIU Panthers are the home team, which means they
Mm-hmm.
have the host advantage. So
Yes, they're
their
starting in one.
players will be generally in the higher spots compared to the Michigan players. So I'm curious to see what kind of runner we're going to see FIU pick for top spots and
Yep.
what kind of reset track Michigan's going to pick for their mid to bottom spots.
Yes. Because track picks are a big part of this, and we see FIU going with the classic Wario Stadium here, or R-Dubs, as some of the fellow competitive players know it. And it looks like we see Michigan going with Mushroom Gorge, which is, I feel like it's a pretty all over the place track, which can kind of work for their spots. And it looks like we
Hmm.
are going to Wario Stadium here.
Yeah. The game plan for Michigan on this track is simple. You have to disrupt FIU tops as soon as possible. If you let FIU get an early group run, it's going to be really hard to break that without shock. If you can go ahead and throw some shells up, disrupt the early spots, get some top presence early, you might be able to contest it without a shock and a blue.
Yes. So right here, we're looking at Diego 6 POV for FIU, and he is got to be careful around Short's triple nanas because it looks like he killed a lot of them. Tosses the red up, ends up killing Short out, and gets an easy lead in the first place. And it looks like we see two FIUs in the top here. So you have to see Milkshake and Diego. Ooh, and there's one more behind them. I think that's top three with the gank back there. So we'll see how well they can hold on to this. It looks like Diego has double protection here, so he looks like he might be able to hit out Whooper behind this turn, but unfortunately he misses. He has a
That's a
bomb.
tough
Ooh,
trail.
yeah, he has a bomb here. It can be pretty disruptive. Gotta have to yield to Milkshake with this horn here. Trailing the bomb, being really aggressive, asserting his dominance in that second place spot. Just making sure that Whooper behind him has to just keep space because, that bomb can be pretty deadly if you're not careful.
Yep. And that's a top three break for our runners here. Notably, also Milkshake holding a horn in one, meaning that even a blue shell will not be enough to take out this FIU top two. And with Diego holding double defense behind Milkshake, Milkshake is really safe just to run this.
Yeah, and Diego has another bomb and a horn in pocket. This is insanely good assurance. Even if, ooh, the trail's barely colliding. And looks like Milkshake or actually Whooper sandwich between two horns here. Whooper being aggressive with that red, and just gets horned out by Diego, just asserting that dominance. And the blue shell is out, but they have no worries here because Milkshake should still have that horn. Looks like he does. That blue shell is not going to mess with them one bit.
Nope. And now that's an FIU top three. It looks like FIU does have a lot of back spots. So this race isn't terrible if you're Michigan. Even though you have 12, you've got a lot behind three.
Yep. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like we have one FIU that's barely squeezing out in front of the Michigan players. It's a top three guaranteed gain for FIU here.
But Michigan, moving up from starting in that 5 through 11, they got 4 through 6. Ganks slipping in at the 7th spot to
Yep.
give this race a lot more favor towards FIU.
Yep. That was a really good race for FIU. They were hosting the room, they got their runner, and they held the top spots. That's what matters. They can chain this into another runner here, which can be really powerful for them.
Mm-hmm.
Allows them to hold on to those top spots for even longer. And we'll see what. Oh, yeah. Looks like we're going. Ooh, kind of mixed here. Looks like Diego's doing his own thing, picking high roll, and everyone else is going squeaky clean sprint here. Looks like Michigan is going with Mushroom Gorge still, which I'd assume is just one of their stronger tracks
Mm-hmm.
for their like mid to bottom spots.
And it's like I mentioned on the first race, it's the same situation. FIU has top three. You need to find a way to break it. If you get your track pick, Michigan picking Gorge, which is a very strong mids to back spots, for the gap jump, and the power of shock on that track cannot be overstated. Just allowing the back positions to move forward to the front.
Yeah, and it looks like FIU is able to chain another runner. It looks like we're going to squeaky clean sprint here. So we'll see how well FIU can hold on to these top spots once again, because this is a really strong runner. There's a lot of tech on this track, so it's all a matter of like, hey, do you know how to do all of the sneaky strats on this to hold up with the rest of the pack? And FIU choosing this track, I think they know what they're doing, but can Michigan, break into these spots? We'll see.
Second place coin a really tough pull in that top spot, especially after
Yeah.
outlining the 2-3 spots for FIU. Had Short gotten a defensive item, this spot would be really good for him. But as it is, he's going to have to...
Yeah, he's being aggressive with the shroom.
Very clean
Yeah, really
disc there.
clean this from
Yeah.
Short. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, gets redded out by the FIU players, but luckily, Fexican has fire behind him. He can still light him up. Short getting redded once again, just being sent to the back, but it is not the end of the world because they are going to need some power items because FIU has a ton of people in the top spots, but there are some Michigan players, I think, breaking in up there. So now we're going... Oh, yeah, we're still on Short's POV here, so... Yeah, he is in 5th
That was a close call.
Yeah. Chilling in 5th right now. Has a bomb. Another close call with the green. He can... Yeah, he's just... I think he's just surrounded by teammates here, so he can't really do a whole lot with this bomb. So... But it looks like they are breaking into those top spots here, so it looks like we only see one FIU that's really high up there. Toughness. Ooh, unfortunately his bomb gets redded. Not redded. Ghosted, which means he's going to get redded by Milkshake.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice pull with the plant. I think it did get the FIU player out. So, again, FIU is currently stuck with 1-0. There's a lot of back presence for FIU. I wonder if one of them might be holding the blue shell, because there can only be one blue shell in play at a time. So if FIU holds it, their first place is just secured.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We see Short getting rid of the triple nanas here because he's surrounded by quite a few teammates. And it looks like he is in 4th right now. It looks like FIU is in 1st with a massive break. So Michigan's just going to have to try to salvage as many spots as they can. Milkshake is chilling in 2nd place right now, but not for long as Short is shrooming up. He has a green here, and he's choosing to trail it. Going to be aggressive, assert his spot here. And he has, ooh, unfortunate shock forces him to go to the bottom route. Luckily, the blue doesn't go for him. So we'll see how well he can hold on to this here, but unfortunately, it looks like others were able to take the top path and pass him.
Unfortunate line fill at the end, but I do think that Michigan still ended up with 2-3-4.
Yeah. Yeah, ooh, yeah. Lots of top spots, lots of mid spots from FIU here. So we'll see how well this went for them. Looks like FIU with the score of 88 and Michigan with a score of 76. That is a plus 12 from FIU.
Well, the first race for FIU was plus 14, which means that Michigan just gained on FIU's pick. And now Michigan in a position where they have a lot of spots behind one. If they can just hit out one, they've got a group run on their hands, and that's very powerful.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it looks like they're going with Dolphin Shoals, which they have quite a few top spots. So seeing a track like Dolphin Shoals is really interesting, I mean, but it looks like that's what we're going to. And we'll see how powerful of a pick this is for them, because this is not something you really see with a bunch of spots behind one.
I know personally, I've seen teams pick this track strangely. In D16 semifinals, the third team of the Knights of Wheels family just top 6'd my team and picked Dolphin Shoals as their top 6 runner of choice. We ended up having a positive race because this track is very strong for the mid spots, as well as 2 really crazy bill extensions.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good bill extensions. I'm pretty sure there's one at the start and there's one on the eel. So
yeah,
this is going to be pretty powerful for the bottom spots here. But unfortunately, Diego 6 just getting redded before the ground, sending him from 1st to last just like that. But again, like we said earlier, there's quite a few bill extensions. So we'll see how well Diego 6 can take advantage of these really critical strats. That is, if he gets lucky enough to pull a bill.
Yeah, I think he might also try and hang back a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind, he's going for motion. He wants to move to the front.
Yep, already up in 7th. Gotta be careful of FIU's rank here. But it
Birds
looks
does
like,
have a lot of distance from the pack, so shock is very likely, especially on a track like this. So back presence is going to be very important.
yep. Super has triple reds up here in 5th. Diego is chilling in 6th. Yeah, Super's gonna have to red out Sean and McChicken up here. So it looks like, yeah, he has a star. Ooh, star in 4-5. This is really good. Not gonna lie, if a shock happens, yeah, pop in the star. And then the doubles here. He has another dodge in 3rd. This is really good. Yep, using the fire to get rid of all the triple reds, popping the ghost so he doesn't die at the trail. And wow, this is really good. He gets a horn just in time. Oh, but it looks like, I think First still has another way to dodge blue. So, oh, I think they canceled it with Shock there. I don't know whose Shock that was, but I think First kind of got killed there in the pipe section.
I think it was FIU shock because Milkshake dodged
Yeah.
in a high spot. This is going to be a massive race
Yeah.
for FIU.
Oh, yeah, we see, I think it's top 4 right here for them. Almost top 5. We'll see double reds here from Diego 6.
Oh,
I
there
don't
goes
think
the
that
top
back
4.
connected. Yeah, but he's trailing in 3rd here. He's got to show dominance against Fexican here. He has triple greens in pocket. And it looks like he's just going to hold on to this. Yep, she's going to get rid of the red. I think that it looks like Gank took motion. Might have been 4th. Top 4 for them.
That is a huge FIU race.
Yep.
Yeah, top 4, 7,
Top 4,
10.
7-10. That is a really big race for FIU. Super powerful for them.
I do. You make a fair point. I wonder what was going on with the shock call because it sure felt like that shock was meant to cancel the blue. But I think what happened was Diego might have ghosted the horn from the player in 1 as shock or not shock as blue was being thrown. So then they're kind of left in a tough spot where they can either shock blue 1 to dodge the guy in 2 or cancel the blue for the guy in 1 because he didn't hit the blue shell with the horn.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like FIU was just able, like, again, I knew it was kind of interesting just because Michigan just picked that track for when they were all right behind 1, and FIU had a lot more, like, bottom spots, and they were able to take advantage of that. And just creep into those top spots, just because of, like, how powerful this track is for, like, power items. But it looks like we are getting another track from Michigan. We're getting Mushroom Gorge. Right now, FIU, going into race 4, they have a 40-point lead. So, Michigan's going to have to bring it back. We're almost done with the first GP, so this big of a lead can be kind of scary for Michigan.
Yeah. And this is the kind of situation where if you're Michigan, you need to start maybe pushing to take a few risks for some bigger races because you don't want this war to get too far out of hand. Minus 40 is still a 1 race gap, but if it gets to much more than that, it's going to be really hard to make a comeback.
Yep, we see Short here. He's thrown his green up here, and I don't think they'll connect with Milkshake. Not going for super bounces, which is interesting. So he's just barely able to make gap. It looks like he horned an FIU player mid-gap, which could have been pretty...
It
oh,
looks
no,
like
I
it
think
didn't
was just
connect.
lag. Yeah. But it looks like we have
That's tough.
Looper up here. It looks like they have Shroom in 1st and 2nd-ish here. So, we'll see how well Michigan's able... Ooh, double Shroom in 1st. Yeah, just kind of Shroom to get a bit of a break here. And it looks like FIU made a critical mistake here, redding out Short, and it looks like they're going to have to take the blue, which is really unfortunate. Oh my gosh, that is just a really laggy blue, I think, because Milkshake fell off the track. But honestly, not the brightest play from Milkshake there because that was, he was so set there if he just, let Short take the blue because he had the Shroom for it. And now he has a bomb in 1st. He can choose to be really offensive here and back it tight because there's a lot of FIU players behind him. And he is backing it right on that ramp. And it looks like the FIU players are able to dodge it, and he's getting shocked going into these bounce pads. We'll see if he's able to hold on the 1st or if FIU can get some shrooms and take gap.
I think that's Super getting 1 if he made gap.
Yeah, we'll see. It was really hard to tell what spots everyone got at the end.
No, he didn't get it.
D2, top 2, 4-5. This is the kind of race you want when you're Michigan because they need to bring it back. This is a great start for them to make this match a lot closer.
Yeah, that's the kind of race you needed if you are UM, because that's a huge momentum swing back in your favor. You just turned, even though it's not enough to close the gap completely to the point where an okay race puts you in front, like just a plus a couple. All of a sudden, the mood of the match has just flipped on its head. You go from you're stuck in the mid spots to the bottom spots. So all of a sudden, top 2, 4, 5, and you get to chain your runner here. This is a really powerful position.
Yeah. Wait, hon, was this pinball pick from? Yeah, this was
This is
from
UM,
Michigan.
yeah.
Yeah. So this right here is really good to draft up on. So maybe FIU can take advantage of all this draftage that happens right after cannons, typically, because cannons typically put everyone in this like big cluster. So we'll see. Yeah, everyone's all close together here. So looks like Diego drafting up here. So we'll see if people can navigate the pinball well.
Oh,
And
he gets
yeah, Diego
bumped.
getting bumped into it. Yeah, lots. It's very claustrophobic always at the start, and he is just able to trail for free there and hit someone. And it looks like, yeah, he's going to go wide. Staying in the back for these doubles here. Honestly, you're getting hit out this early on. No need to rush yourself up to the front. He can kind of chill in the back, play for dodges, play for shock, but it looks like he's trying to shoom up here and be aggressive with these spots.
I think he'll go wide for coins here. Yeah, because he's only at 5, and behind these flippers, there's 5 more coins. Now with
Yep.
shrooms, Diego can make his push to the top spots.
Ooh, gotta be careful with Short's fire here, but Short ends up smart bouncing himself again. Diego hugging that wall, avoiding the fire, and FIU just has a
That's a is.
breakup there.
I was gonna say that is a lot of FIU top. That's a
Top
top
five
5 for
now.
FIU right now.
Yep.
And
But that is
this is
also a
kind
lot of
of
Michigan in the back. So,
yes.
I
Like
mean,
this is you can go. You can go.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world for FI or Michigan. Ooh, they shocked top 5 out of set here, which is super powerful. Looks like they had 2 bills as well, breaking into these top spots. Yeah, because now FIU just had no items after that item set there. And Michigan is just slowly trying to break in after that shock. But Diego Six pulls triple reds,
That's
which he
such a
can be
good
just
pull
kill out
immediately
these
after
players here.
shock
Yeah,
too.
tossing it up, throwing these reds, killing all of the players, forcing them into their dodges. We'll see what happens here. Looks like we've got C2D2 trying to break into first place here, so we'll see how aggressive he can be. Yeah, Milkshake getting a good rang off on Whooper. Has triple greens. He can be aggressive. There's more fire coming from Michigan. Lots of chaos on this mid pack here.
Hmm. Also, that first shock was used early enough. There is a chance that there could be a second one pulled at this set. Because it has been at least 30 seconds, and Diego did pull a dodge. If FIU pulls, oh wait.
Ooh, another shock here. We'll see what happens. If we're coming into the last item set, this can be make it or break it for a lot of the players here. Looks like triple greens out for Diego. He's tossing him up. He needs to shroom now. Got to be careful. There's a plant behind him, but that should not be in range to get him. And that solidifies a 5th place. But I think, I don't know if C2D2 got first there or not. It
Yeah,
looks like
that
he
was a
did.
Michigan shock then,
One,
because I
yeah,
think they called
yeah.
green after set.
Yeah, 1, 3, 4. This is looking like a great game for C2D2 right here. Getting some good races in.
Hmm. Michigan, again, just piece by piece, they have the momentum here.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling 2 shocks on pinball, it certainly helps their case a lot, but reclaiming those top spots is exactly what Michigan needs to do.
Yes, for
Um,
sure.
as we also approach the halfway point in the match, you kind of get the feel that maybe FIU is kind of on the back foot almost. Just because it
Mm-hmm.
feels like even though they've had these powerful positions, like they had top 5. And I think Michigan walked out of that race with a win.
Yeah, those shocks were insanely good because first shock, they used it because they had 2 bills that they were able to dodge, breaking into the top spots. And then they were able to maintain the top spots. So when the second shot came, they were able to shock FIU after the boxes and then take over the spots at the very end of the race. Amazing gameplay from Michigan here.
Hmm. Executed very well off of the shock pulse as expected for the premier division of the Collegiate Karting League.
Mm-hmm. It looks like we're going to Boo Lake here, which is a very strong runner here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it has a lot more tech than than what meets the eye.
Yes. There is, and the opening section can be very chaotic. So hopefully Michigan's top spots can escape that unscathed, while FIU tends to just bump each other out.
Yes, so we see Short trailing instantly, and looks like he hits one of the FIU players, and FIU is starting out with a lot of top spots here. Unfortunately, Short going for the same box as C2D2 here, but luckily, he's able to pull in front and let his teammates defend him because he has no item. But it looks like, double reds here. Unfortunately, not able to trail in time and gets hit for it, but looks like he's able to hit out Milkshake in return.
Mm-hmm. And falling to the back with red isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world, because by having reds in the pack, you can control how the pack plays out and help your team to secure those higher positions.
Yes. And we see Short here with triple greens in pocket, so he can really kind of jump scare these FIU players that are behind him. Yep. And be very defensive here, like kind of gatekeeping these top spots. And triple shrooms in pocket is also really good. He's got to be careful of the Diego 6-star here, though. But he's able to be aggressive with these greens here. He's trailing a red, trying to hit him out, but unfortunately misses.
Yeah, that's tough because now I think that red hits one of his teammates.
Yep, but he has shrooms here. We'll see if he can take over Diego 6 here.
Blue shell?
Like the blue is
this is going to be...
hits him out. Gotta be careful of the triple nanas. Unfortunately gets hit.
And I think Michigan also took the blue. That's a really unfortunate ending to the race.
Yeah, it just looks like Diego was able to be really aggressive with that red. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
FIU top 3, 5, 7 is massive. So it looks like Diego was just like, he had this red, and Short just played extremely risky, tossing all of his greens up at once instead of spreading them out, trying to get higher, like, just snipes out on him. So, I don't know. It was, Diego just kind of was able to be more aggressive with that red than what met the eye, and he was just able to break into the top spots and let everyone else in. And also, just the villager with the triple nanas was unfortunate for Short after the shortcut.
Yeah, it was, but that's part of the game. However, you're not, again, Michigan's still in a position. This is very comebackable. They're not even down a full race yet. They got another track pick, which is what they needed, absolutely. If FIU got a runner with top 3-5, it was going to be really, really tough for them to be able to, for Michigan to be able to gain any control back of the race. But Koopa Cape, very, very strong for the back spots, as you get a lot of coins to start the race if you're starting in a lower spot. On top of that, there's not a lot of items on the main path. Like, that first set is the only set that you're going to be able to grab consistently every lap, and it's a single. So Michigan is able to grab these shrooms and make their push to the front with a coin advantage, where FIU can't grab the items to defend themselves.
Yep, and we see here, we're on Milkshake's POV now, and he is currently going for the items here because, again, this is the really only other set that you can get other than, the guaranteed one at the start. So he is getting this fire out and is trying to hit Sean out, but unfortunately, I don't think lag is on his side here. Yeah, tossing that green up, hits him out. You have Diego in first, Milkshake in third here, so we'll see what Milkshake can do to break into the spots, but it looks like Fexican has a green in second, so, not a green, a red in second, so he can be aggressive with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we see lots of FIU in the back as well, so, yeah, Blue Shell is out. I couldn't really tell whose it was, but, I'm assuming, if it is FIU, I'm definitely assuming that first place had a dodge. No, I think that was Michigan. Oh, and unfortunately, that red ends up going for Diego there. Milkshake kind of just assuming that it would go for Fexican, but it doesn't. But he has a shroom in second here, so he can take the shortcut in the water section and then just be aggressive with this red. But we'll see how well that pans out for him.
Thankfully, he did pull defense behind his shroom. If he pulled a second shroom, I doubt he'd take the shortcut initially, because you can't really hold one without defense. Although the line fail does mean he has to settle for second here. However, looking at the
Yep.
mini-map, well, Michigan's making a push for the
Oh,
mid-pack now.
he gets fire. He hits him out. It looks like FIU is in first now.
Mm-hmm. And Michigan's
So-
also got a lot of bottom spots. The second blue's coming, but this isn't going to get here in time. Milkshake is going to get to the line.
Yep. Milkshake securing that first place spot, and it looks like there's a lot of FIU behind him here. So, yeah,
No,
this is a really solid win for FIU, I think.
Full credit to Milkshake, even though he accidentally hit out Diego with that red, he was the reason that FIU was able to contest one so much that race, because just his play with keeping pressure on the top spots allowed his teammates time to catch up.
Mm-hmm. And now we see FIU with a lot of top spots once again, so they can go into another runner here. And also, what's the point diff for the teams?
It is 62.
62. And we are going into the last race of the second GP here. So, again, if you're Michigan, you got to crack down on it. You got to make it happen, because this is where it matters. We're going into the last race of the second GP, and it's going to get dicey. So they need to take advantage of what they can get here. And it looks like they are going a bagger for their bottom spots, Snowland, which has a pretty critical shortcut. So if they can take advantage of it, they can get a lot of spots here.
Well, finally, FIU able to get another track pick, and what a time to get this track pick. Neo
Yep.
Bowser is a very powerful runner. There are two very small shortcuts you can take, and everything else is about driving technique. And if you are able to hold top spots, you're gone.
Yep. And this track is also very claustrophobic. So items make a lot more of a difference than you think they do. Like a green smart bouncing in a tunnel can do a whole lot. Triple nanas here can be very devastating, barely dodging that one he threw up. And bombs being thrown on that S-turn especially can be very, very scary.
Start pulling those triple nanas at the first set did manage to trail out an FIU player, which does help Michigan out a lot. The less tops you can give a team on this track, the better.
Yep, and we see Short is shooming up, getting a ton of spots. Has two shooms in second here. Ends up using one of them just to kind of regain some balance here. But it looks like we have Gank in first place here. And he's shooming up, going to be aggressive. He's holding this red. He can choose to red Gank out, and he is. But unfortunately, Milkshake passes him with that Nana, barely dodging that fire. Again, this track is super claustrophobic, so that fire is scary, but yeah, that red getting ghosted is unfortunate.
Yeah. Because if not, Short can red Milk out here. He gets the second place boxes.
Oh, and
I mean,
second place coin and the first place bomb. Item luck is not on Short side here. He's going to toss the screen up in hopes of hitting the bomb, but to no avail, and it looks like he is getting bombed here.
I think the bomb also got Diego, and so, but it doesn't matter because now Milk has a massive lead in one, and he pulls
Gets another bomb. Dude, he is just getting what he needs, and then that looks like that's a top 2 for FIU right now.
Eagles getting flashback to his 1v1 with Bubbles.
Yep, with all of the bombs. Yeah, but it looks like it's 1, 3, 4 for FIU. Sure, unfortunately not getting the optimal line, but he's just able to hold it with all of his shrooms. Get second here. So that was another really good race for FIU, and we're going into the last GP. So, but Michigan was able to get third here. But again, I think that might have been a gain for FIU there.
I think it still
barely. It's a small race, so we'll see what it's looking like. But
yeah, 2-3 certainly helps mitigate the damage.
Yeah, Michigan's got to crack down on it. They got to make it happen. This is the last GP. They still got a ways to go. They got to get some good races in. I mean, yeah, the item luck there with the double bomb is really not what they needed, but I mean, we'll see what they can get, and it looks like they do get their Amsterdam pick here, which is a really good drafter, especially with that glider section. So
I've been thinking this the entire stream.
mhm.
I have been enjoying reading all of the Spanish names for all the tracks on Diego's stream.
Yeah, because I think most of his history with this game is playing with Spanish teams. Like I know he's on Jet Joker, used to be on BXH, so it's really interesting seeing people with different backgrounds playing collegiate. It's really cool.
Wonder with some of the translations if you can see some of the courses named differently, because I know certain courses are named differently in certain regions of the world. Like for example, Melody Motorway is Music Park, but European.
Yeah. I know Squeaky Clean Sprint on another language is Accelerated Toilet. It's awesome.
That is
Uh
awesome.
yes. Um But anyways, back to the match here. If you're interested, you can look up more on the track picks. The rabbit hole is pretty deep. But it looks like we are going into lap 2 here. It looks like Michigan is holding on the first here, and that was a really good back from Diego. Wow. But yeah, he is chilling in fourth place here with a shroom, and I think Michigan's still holding on the first place here, and he can easily throw items back here on this straightaway, but it looks like, yeah, he's just holding on the first here. We have fire and a shroom from Diego here. So, ooh, unfortunately getting hit out. And Blue Shell is out, which is really unfortunate for Michigan.
A short got hit out of one. I think FIU's taking this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that definitely went to FIU, I think. And it looks like Diego has triple reds here, choosing to back them all just because his teammates are in front of him. He doesn't really need it. And it looks like, yeah, blocking the reds going for him, but it was triple reds. Doesn't get the wall dodge, unfortunately. And there's lots of dodges near him, and they're all coming his way. He's getting sent to the back just like that. And I think Michigan has a lot of the mid to higher spots here, so this could potentially be a really good race for them.
This bill might save a couple spots, especially with Fexican dying on the line, but I think
Yeah.
Fexican might have been the only bottom spot for Michigan.
Yeah, they took a lot of the mid spots there, and FIU gets a lot of the bottom spots. So I think that was a pretty solid race for Michigan here. Again, slowly bringing it back, but they're gonna need some big races here to make it happen and bring it a
Hmm.
lot closer. We have 3 races left.
Yeah, that was a small victory for the Wolverines to bring it under 60, but those kinds of races just aren't going to cut it with 3 left. You need at least like plus 20 races from here on out. You need one of
Hmm.
those massive wins. So I wonder if UM's track picks are going to start reflecting that, where they're going to start taking gambles on tracks. They might rip tracks like Summit, Mountain. They might try and pick even like really shock reliant tracks, um, just because they need a big race for things to go their way.
Yes, and it looks like we're going to Sweet Sweet Canyon here, which tracks with cannons typically tend to be kind of broken. So this could be pretty good for them. And it looks like one of them went Athens, which also is a pretty solid track, but we'll see how well they can take advantage of it. And it looks like FIU went Dragon Driftway, which again, like Neobazar City, very claustrophobic. So, I mean, again, items like bombs are very critical. But it looks like we are going to the singular Athens Dash Indiv. So, we'll see how well that pans out for Michigan here because they need these big races.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have 3 left. So again, yeah, Michigan's got to make it happen. Looks like we're seeing some combo switching here. Seeing Biddy Buggy in first, which I guess was kind of a gamble on Dragon Driftway as Biddy is super good for that track. Which I think
Green
that's
spin
also
on
good
Biddy
for
for the
this.
whole war. Oh
Oh,
no,
ooh, that
that
was
red's
yeah, unfortunate red skip. That if that red landed, that would have been massive. But oh, he gets hit by literal oxygen. That's unfortunate. Yeah, he's saving a clip of that. That was an unfortunate start for short there because he misses the red and then ends up getting hit by who knows what. Yeah, he's gonna have to stay in the back for this and get these power items.
I'm pretty sure Short just got trailed while he was in first place. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, but I mean, he's in 10th now, and sadly, shrooms aren't gonna be the item. Everyone's just dead there. Wow, but
Where did that green
shrooms
come
aren't gonna cut
from?
it. Yeah, Green's bouncing everywhere. God,
Oh
oh my
no!
gosh, dude, he is
This
just not having it.
this
He's
is
saving
not
another clip.
this
Yeah,
is not
one
Short's
clip each
race.
lap here. Yeah, we have Whooper and Short chilling in the back. He's having to pop that milk because he's just not in a great line there. But it looks like we do see Michigan in first here. So, maybe a lucky shock could be in the cards here for them.
Could be. They do have 3 of bottom 4. Short pulling a dodge here certainly helps, assuming the player in the back has it. Um, this is where shock is used on Athens, because this is the last set of the track. Oh,
Oh, he gets the dodge. Gotta be careful. Don't kill your teammates when he's running up here. But it looks like this could be a top 2 here for Michigan. Popping that star. Oh no, it looks like Michigan's top player ended up getting hit out by Green. And it looks like that's going to be a first place for FIU because Short just didn't have what he needed to take over the top spots.
I wonder if that was an FIU shock, because Green pulled... Oh no, he went wide for the item. It's hard to tell who that was, because I was thinking it could have been an FIU shock. Green dodges and Ghost still has his item that he stole from first place, and Short just happened to frame one dodge to shock.
Yeah, because that was a really close shock from Short there. So, I don't know. It was tight timing, but what's the point in Diff looking like going into these last 2 races?
Yeah, that was not the race Michigan needed. The difference is... Hang on. Sorry, I'm not a STEM major anymore. Math is hard. I think 64. So Michigan needs 2 basically
It's
top 5s.
Yep. Or like ideally a top 6, but they just got FIU's track pick, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. This is looking to be really tough for Michigan here.
Hmm. Like I mentioned, it's going to need something like a shock to work out
Yeah.
for Michigan in this situation.
Yeah, they're gonna need like tons of people dodging. They're gonna need some good item luck on their side. They're gonna need FIU to get pretty unlucky as well, but again, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Shorts being aggressive super early on. Diego opting to shoot him around because sometimes taking that beginning Nisk at the start can be kind of scary when you have people with items all around you. But it looks like Short's just able to hold on to first here, trailing Anana.
Interesting that Short was the one to get into first place immediately on the track that FIU picked. Maybe maybe Green got bumped out in the confusion at the start of lap 1.
Yep. And now we see Short's worst enemy, the green shell from last race, but unfortunately it doesn't connect. Wow, green slow horning Short off of the track, which is crazy. And it
It was
looks like we have, oh my gosh. And then, yeah, unfortunately having to get rid of that bomb, but that is a lot of FIU tops here. No item here in time for Diego to block the red. It looks like Fexican getting smart bounced by the
way.
green. But he has a ring still, so which is pretty good. He can be pretty aggressive with it. Yeah, FIU is chilling in a lot of these top spots here. Michigan needs to make it happen at the end of this.
It's all or nothing right here, and Michigan is unfortunately stuck with a lot of bottom spots.
Yep. And it looks like, yeah, taking that Nisk. And he has a Shroom in second, which is perfect for him. He is going to just hopefully be able to hold on to this, take the shortcut at the end, pass Fexican, and get first. And yeah, I mean, I don't think after this, if Michigan
And
gets
he
the
got the
back as
back.
well, that is like salt on the wound there for Fexican. That is a
Yeah,
lot of double shock at the end.
man.
That is that is unfortunate. It doesn't look like Michigan's going to be able to recover from that race.
No, that was
Yeah,
tough.
top 4.
Michigan not pulling shock until it was way too late, and FIU proving why they wanted to pick Dragon Driftway. Because
Yes, they
wow,
they just had lots of dominance in the front there. They were just able to, even though Michigan was able to break into the spots, they just had the items and used them in such a fashion that they were able to take over the top spots. And again, that back at the end of the shroom cut from Diego was diabolical. That was an evil back there, and it looks like it is going to just net FIU another win here.
Yep.
And we'll just see what the rest of Michigan can do here just to kind of round it out.
Hmm. Oh, it looks like there was a disconnect in that race as well.
Oh yeah. So
I think it's one of the UM players.
yeah, it's unfortunate. But I don't think that's going to be very comeback. Yeah, they can't come back from this at all, which is unfortunate. So they just got to play this last race out, and yeah, that is a GG's. But hey, they were able to hold it together and kind of make it happen. I mean, once they had some like pretty bad races like every now and then, but I mean, I think it's some more practice in there. I mean, they're really close to competing with this lineup from FIU, which can be pretty devious.
I think when a lot of people heard that FIU picked up another high level player, like how many more are they gonna find? But just I think yeah, Michigan proved this lineup is not immortal. This is not the best lineup in the league because or it's not an unbeatable lineup. It might be the best lineup tonight, but again, Michigan does not have their best player with them right now. If Freddie joins, this matchup becomes a lot closer.
Yes. Ooh, an unfortunate rain miss from Diego there. And he's getting redded right before the cannon. And it looks like he's be chilling in 8th here, opting to go wide in case of some items here, some power items that could be headed his way. And
Is that
it
the
looks
bot
like
on Bowser Landship?
yes. Oh, popping that starter just in time before getting almost hit by the crazy 8 green here. I wanna know how my goat Bowser Landship does at the end.
Honestly, I
That's
want him to win. Can we like tell all the players to stop on the line to let the Bowser Landship get first place?
the things I would do.
Oh, he's in the back. Come on,
Yeah.
Bowser, you got this. I believe.
Yeah. He can do it. He can do it. Trust, believe. Oh, getting backed right before the cannon. Yeah, I gotta pop that golden so he's able to chain it into set in time. Switching over to Milkshake's POV here, ringing out C2D2. He has a Shroom in another rank here. Unfortunately, clips that off-road, which is kind of unfortunate. And he doesn't need to get rid of this Shroom. Oh, get shocked right into the set. Perfect pull here for Milkshake. Able to Shroom up, take over first here, it looks like.
Yep.
Solid first place from Milkshake. And that is going to be a win from FIU on the first ever primetime of this season.
Yeah, not a lot of things
No,
going
Bowser gets
Michigan's way.
last. No.
Not a lot of things going Michigan's way this war, unfortunately. Um, but like I mentioned, Michigan did have some good races. I think the difference in strength of lineup certainly aided FIU a little bit here. I'm very interested to see how this rematch would play later in the season because while the ending score does show that Michigan took a minus 112 loss, I don't think that tells the full story that Michigan never really felt out of this match until the last couple races.
No, they had some really good races, actually. Most notably, I'd say pinball was really good for them. And they had some other tracks that were just, kind of like the ace up their sleeve. Like, that track that they could whip out and be like, yeah, we can get a good race on it. We're not out of this. And it's like, they showed they could actually, like, kind of make it close, even if, they don't have, tippity top of the lineup. And FIU, again, they just had a devious lineup against them. They had some evil players that could just shut them down instantly. So, I mean, I think Michigan has it. I mean, again, the point diff doesn't tell the whole story, and they can totally show a really good match within the coming weeks against FIU if they play them again.
And the beauty of the Premier Division being a 6-team division is everyone plays everyone twice, which means in a couple weeks we'll
Yes.
get to see this matchup again. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe Michigan will be able to bring their full top lineup, or maybe FIU will be missing someone. Who knows? And that's kind of the nature of this game, that just because you beat a team in 1 week doesn't mean that you're going to beat that team a couple games down the road.
All right, but it looks like we have an interview here. It looks like we got Ted Bear coming in for an interview. So we're gonna bring him in here. He's gonna hop in just a second. What's up, Ted Bear? How are you doing?
Hi guys. Very happy to be here. Great win. Very proud of my guys, and Michigan's always a very formidable opponent. Incredibly strong, even though they were missing Crow. It's still an incredibly scary lineup that they always bring. So
Yeah.
very good with this win.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like y'all just had some tracks that were just very powerful, and y'all were able to just really show y'all's dominance on them. I mean, it was a very impressive performance. It was very fun to commentate.
I'm glad. I hope it was a very enjoyable match for everyone watching at home. Definitely had a lot of surprises. Did not see Milk after that 48-point drop week 1 to turn around and break triple digits today. But incredibly proud of him and all the progress he's made. Green, of course, going from I'm going to retire to let me come back and be an amazing player. And Diego randomly popping into our lives. It's been very fortunate here in Pantherville, and very glad to get this win on Michigan.
So which D1 player are you finding next? That's the question on everyone's mind.
It's a great question. We'd love to get Kevo in.
Yeah.
That'd be very funny, but I doubt that happens. He is friends with Diego, and I know he watches Diego's stream when we were doing Syllabus Week 3, so maybe, but it's just incredibly fortunate. And as I said earlier, Michigan's just a very strong opponent, no matter who they bring. So to be able to get this win, especially on primetime, is just very nice. I tried to do my best to support, the guys running up. Green, Milk, Diego, they were always in the front, but Super as well. He had a great performance today, dropping 70, which I know doesn't sound like maybe a lot, but considering the top 4 all broke 100, there was quite a drop off from there. He played as well. He played his role very, very well. I'm incredibly proud of him. Just very strong performance from my guys all around.
So I noticed that after the first GP, Michigan had a couple really good races where they started to bring back in. Did you have like anything in mind to try and shut down that comeback that ended up pushing eventually that score up to the unreachable point by the end of race 11?
What was going on was, I believe it was pinball and one other track, but they had pulled shock on us, and I think on pinball, I believe they pulled 2 shocks on us. So really, what it showed to us, what our mindset was, is we're able to run up a lot in the front. There's no real reason to need to sacrifice our races, because especially on something like pinball, like shocks will happen. That's just something you have to play around. So it was more about keeping our cool and just trying our best to not crack, to not tilt, don't let it get to us. And I could say they did a lot better job than myself on that matter. I was ready to just drop back and shock watch for the rest of the game, which I didn't need to do. Then we kept our cool, and thankfully everything worked out.
Yeah, y'all just had an extremely dominant lineup there, and it was really cool watching all of y'all just kind of just run away with it. And Michigan had some like really good races too, and I don't know, it seemed like it could be pretty close with like matches in the future, but y'all just showed out today.
Yeah, I've said it multiple times. I'm just really proud of them, especially like Milk and Super coming in, kind of thrown into the fray, and they're just doing really well. And especially after last season, where there was a lot of expectations on us, and we didn't really live up to them. Just glad to be 3-0 now. Not a lock for playoffs, not by a long shot, but we're in a pretty good position.
Yeah, looking forward at the rest of the division. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to or looking out for the rest of the season? Because D1 is a really, really close division this year compared to previous years.
Yeah, it's incredibly close. There's a lot of really good parity. I mean, everybody in the division is there for a reason. You know, all these. I think it's clear cut that these are the 6 best teams in the league, and everyone just has such a a formidable lineup that could definitely bring their best on any day. I mean, Maryland almost beat. We were running what we thought was our top lineup versus Maryland, and they were missing a few people, and we just managed to squeak out a 6-point win on them during syllabus week, and during our match in week 1, though it's not reflected on the score, it was incredibly close throughout. We just managed to pull away with it. Baruch has Luckyo and Momo and Darky, and those are very strong opponents. Even Oklahoma, just that super balanced lineup with intense synergy, with Rumble and Taika and Goldend and Rhino Bites. And they've beaten us in the past before. They've whipped our behinds. So it's for me, it's a lot of just trying to keep cool, trying not to crack. We're in the driver's seat right now. The other teams are chasing us. We're not chasing the other teams. So just stick to what's working and just keep at it. And if there's a lot of resistance, then if we're not up every game, that's fine. Just keep doing what you're doing, because right now it's getting results. There's no need to change the formula.
Well, I can say that I think us as casters and us being the league are very much looking forward to see if you guys can hold that top spot up to the end of the regular season, because as
I sure
is
hope
the
we
case
do.
in a 6-team division, if you place first, you're guaranteed at least second place, and you get that bye to the finals where you don't have to play a best of 3 against the strong D1. Well, thank you, Ted Bear, for joining us for this interview, and thank you to the audience for joining us for this very exciting opening match to the season.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for casting. Wisp, Labob, you guys are amazing. Angle, thank you so much for hosting behind the scenes. And thank you guys for watching.
Yep. Thank you guys for coming out and watching this. We're going to close the stream out. Adios, y'all. Thanks
Yep.
for everyone stopping by.
And see y'all next time.